Yo, what's good, YouTube? In today's video, I want to do a response video to Comedy Hype's video talking about Tiffany Haddish and Aries Skit. They did a 30-minute video, and I just want to respond to comic Pierre's stance on the skit and the allegations that's been put out against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. So with that being said, let's dive into this clip that I chopped up. You know what I mean? All of these clips right here that you see in this video is Pierre's response in Comedy Hype's video. So let's get into it.
Well, heard it and saw it. First of all, it just wasn't a well thought out skit, for a PSA. One thing about pedophiles that we know those are kind of the lowest rung of people. Even when they go to jail, pedophiles either get killed or can get really injured. We want the worst for a pedophile. And at the end of the skit, he didn't have the worst. He wound flipping the boy doing it to him. And that could turn, that turned a lot of people off. You want his most, if you'd have killed the pedophile or shot him or put him in jail, we saw him in jail, we probably would have felt better about the skit, at least seeing that. Okay. It was a choice. Now, Aries Spears is on the, a lot of people don't like his villain persona, so they jumping on him for that. A lot of people don't like him, you know what I'm saying, because of his persona, what he goes for. But I don't know. I just think Tiffany Haddish jumped into something. It was young in her career, before where she is now, or for her fame really hit. Young comics, we do stuff like that. We jump into stuff, we try to do it. We don't think of everything. We just try to help each other out or try to be funny or be into something. And it was just something that wasn't really cool. I know both of them. The furthest thing they want to do is scar or hurt a child. I know Tiffany and I know Aries. That wasn't their intention at all. But my biggest concern also is, where was the parent? You know what I'm saying? The parent could be on the set 24/7 and see everything. To say they were coerced and stuff, you can see your children in underwear in front of a grown man. If you should be on the set and say, nah, I ain't doing that. My kid ain't doing that at all. You don't let the kid do that and then later on say, oh man, I was tricked into it or whatever. You saw it, you should have been there at every step of the way. So I just think there's a lot of blame to go around. It was just the ill skit that just didn't come off the way they wanted to, and that was at the end of the day. I don't think there's any intention to be any harm at all to the children.
Right.
They wouldn't have that experience. That's it. They wouldn't have that experience. So I'm not gonna let somebody watch my kid, let somebody take my kid and be, I have no idea what the scene is. I don't know what they're doing over in the other room. I don't know about pedophiles. I'm like, I don't, here's my child. I trust you. Do what you want to. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You either go there with your child and find out what the skit's about, unless they sit there lying to you and then they talk to you in the corner while they're doing it. That didn't happen. That mama knew what it was, and they know what it was. At the end of the day, it's now turned into, remember, this is 10 years ago. Times were different with those sketches and so forth. There's stuff that we can't do now that we could do back in them. That cancer culture is there now. A lot of younger people are now online feeling a certain way. I don't like that. I don't like that. I remember Eddie Murphy, when he did Delirious, he used the F-bomb and stuff. Remember that? He used the F-bomb too. And it's one of the greatest specials of all. Could Eddie Murphy do that special today? These kids nowadays are like, man, that's disgusting. That's wrong that he's using the F-bomb. Okay, now it is. But 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it wasn't. Times move on. So, I'm not saying this right. I tell you, it was a PSA. It fell flat. It didn't work. At the end of the day, the pedophile shouldn't have been victorious with the boy putting oil on him. That was, you can't have that. So, at any time. All that coerced and all that junk. If you're with your kids, man, just be with your kids. You can see it. Your eyeballs can see your kid rolling around playing with toys in the underwear. You're on the set. You're looking at it. You're looking at it. There's no coercing unless you're in another room doing other things and not being a proper parent to your child that you care so much for now. Okay, you should have cared for it that much back then. So if you're not watching what's happening and watching every moment, like, no, my kid ain't gonna wear that. No, my kid ain't gonna have his ass in the air. Say that. You're the parent. You have the control, but whatever, you want to just, she didn't know any better. As Hollywood has tackled that before, sure they have. I think it was a movie. I'm not sure exactly everything, but was it Megan Good or Jussie Smollett's sister, Eve's Bayou? One of the movies where Sam Jackson might kissed a young girl in the movie, So we've pushed that envelope before. These are comedians the comedians that push the envelope, the entertainers have. No different than Sinead O'Connor, what she did, Kathy Griffin. We all, as entertainers, we push the envelope, and sometimes it doesn't work. It backfires, like it backfired in the situation right here. We have to be more cognizant, especially today. We got to be more cognizant than we were 10 years ago about what we do, because people want to cancel you quickly because they didn't come up during those times. So. Well, I'm an artist, and I realize that art imitates life. It is what it is. We're artists. We even on stage, we talk about stuff that happened in life. Now, are we saying that you can't do anything with children, any kind of thing with children, bullying, anything with children? Well, I think he was trying to do a PSA about molestation. Did it go off right? No, it didn't work. He tried to make it funny. It wasn't funny. It didn't hit, the end. You cannot have like I said, the predator winning at the end. But there's great directors like Mel Brooks. He did a whole movie about that. So artists sometimes try to be funny. We try and it doesn't work out. This one didn't work out. So if we saying, hey man, you can never do a joke about kids and you're gonna stagnate my art, so that's saying we ain't doing nothing about kids ever, no kind of thing. Really? I just feel like it was done in poor taste. It didn't work out right. I know he was trying to do a PSA, but it didn't end out right. It didn't work right. And sometimes it fails. Sometimes we do stuff and it fails. Are we horrible people because it failed? No. This is an artist trying something. I don't think Tiffany's a horrible person. I don't think the mother would intentionally try to have her child be harmed. I don't think Aries Spears tried anything to harm their children. It just fell flat. It didn't work because it didn't feel like a PSA at the end of the day. You can't have the predator winning at the end of the day. Where's the solution at that? How the love of family changes real quick and shit. It's all good to give the kid over to him. Now she can't stand it. It's the worst thing ever happened. All right, well, I hear that. Well, first of all, it was a form of art. Maybe we didn't like art. It wasn't real life. Aries Spears is not molesting children in real life, and Tiffany Haddish ain't taking kids over to molesters' houses. It's not a real life thing. We heard it's not like a breaking news. It really happened. We really found out this was art. It was bad art. Okay, if you didn't like it, it wasn't bad art. It was bad art, but it wasn't real life happening. It wasn't a real life situation that really happened to them. It was just bad art that didn't come out right. So arrested and all that, no, bad art. That's all it was, bad art to me. And I saw the video. If you haven't seen the video, don't comment. Watch the video and then comment. No, first of all, look what we're talking about. Look where it's in the news. It's a verbal backlash. Look at the comments. Look at how people feel. You think an artist want to do this again to get the backlash that they're about to hear, Tiffany and so-and-so, to say, hey, and then happen to them really like they ain't go to jail, but I'm going to do it. Do you think any artist wants that? It's a different time. Like I said, the cancel culture, it's a different time now than it was 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. So there's things that comics or people don't do today. That skit wasn't made this morning. That skit wasn't made today. It was made 10 years ago when things were different. People act like they don't remember that. It was different back then. Things were just different. Now, was it correct or right? Whatever. It was done back then when the time was different. Today, that skit probably would never be done. I don't see that skit being done. Look at the backlash they're receiving. Why would somebody want to do a skit like that to receive the backlash? So no, I don't see, if nothing happens to them too, something already happened, the backlash. When you say nothing, if they don't go to jail, they don't have to pay no fine. But look what's happened to their career. Look how people are gonna start calling them names and Tiffany names and Aries. How they feel now, how they got to circumvent and move around in this business. That ain't a good feeling, for something they did 10 years ago. Not saying right or wrong, but it's a bad feeling. And I don't think no one wants that heat, that smoke again. Well, how it'll affect their career as it goes. I think that they'll get over it, in time. Time heals wounds sometimes. This wasn't a real live act. This was more a picture. There's people who done stuff for real, like Jared from Subway. His ass is in jail. Like the father from Party from Five. His career is over. So yes, you can say, you don't get canceled, your culture, but yes, you will get your behind. Well, Michael, what's the guy from Seinfeld, Kramer, his ass is over with. You will get canceled. When shit happens, it goes hard. It goes hard to some people. R. Kelly's pretty much toe up now. This is not even a real life situation. This was an art, this was art, to me. It wasn't good art, but it's art. So I think they'll both get out of this, in due time. Unfortunately, it'll be hanging over their head forever when somebody wants to tease them in the comments, you pedophile, well, whatever. It's just the fact that unfortunately, Aries Spears jumped off the porch with Lizzo, and this is part of the Lizzo backlash. But I think it is because of what with Lizzo happened. You know, you mess with Lizzo and her crew and her people. They went digging, looking for something for him, and they found it. Hey, it is what it is, bro. Just gotta realize what you did in the past, because it will come to haunt you if you talk, reckless about somebody who has a big fan base.
All right, so I disagree with most of that stuff, and I agree with a little bit of it. I agree that as parents, you definitely should pay attention to your kids as far as just like, if your child if you was there on set, like I thought at first they were saying the mom wasn't there. But if the mom was there and, if you brought your child to do this acting gig, then yeah, you should have been there every step of the way. But then again, we could say that, and let's just say if she was actually doing that, you already know how highly weird, how they get down. They know how to use their influence. They know how to use their celebrity power, their celebrity status, and there's plenty of ways they could have got the mom to get removed from the scenes, distract her as far as like, oh, hey, we need to do this, and this is what we do. This is normal. This is typical. You have to step out. You're distracting your child, and we're gonna have him in this a big project, but you have to do this and do that. You know what I mean? Like, the predators, they know who to prey on, in my opinion. So, that's why I don't like how Pierre was like kind of just pointing a finger at the mom, like he was there, but he's not pointing a finger at Aries Spears and the directors or, Tiffany Haddish. It's like the only thing bad that he has to say is that, that the skit fell flat, and at the end of the skit, the pedo was victorious. So, that was like his only pushback. And that's why it's like, man, I disagree how he's like kind of just like going off about the mom and, kind of defending Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, in my opinion. So yeah, man, I disagree with a lot of that stuff that Pierre was saying. I didn't like his tone towards the mom and how he was just trying to point the finger. Pierre should definitely realize that celebrities know how to pull strings and do what they do to people. Because like I said, the predator knows how to sniff out its prey. I didn't really hear Pierre say, hopefully these kids are not really traumatized. You know what I mean? Like he was just kind of on one as far as just like in defense of Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. And of course, he's defending comedy and art and being an entertainer. You know what I mean? That's all these people think about, bro. You got to think like these celebrities, bro. It's hard for them. It's hard for them to turn that switch off and tap into their humanity. You know what I mean? Because Pierre's response, man, it's like I didn't hear him say anything about hopefully those kids are okay, and you know what I mean, and all that stuff. He just said something like, "Oh, I know Tiffany Haddish didn't want to harm the kids. I know Aries Spears didn't want to harm the kids. I know when the mom took her kids there, she didn't want to harm the kids." But it's like, you know what I mean? He ain't say nothing about like, hopefully those kids haven't been traumatized or harmed, or you know what I mean, and hopefully they got the help that they needed. But he was just instantly just pointing a finger at the mom, like she was a bad parent, in my opinion. So yeah, I agree with a little bit that Pierre said as far as like, Aries Spears and that Lizzo situation. That's the shit that brought this shit to light, because those Lizzo fans went digging. And this is the type of shit that happens when you have beef. This is why I be trying to tell motherfuckers, like, if you got shit in your closet, or if you just out here beefing with folks, just know like your shit is gonna get revealed like that. Like Aries Spears, he definitely shouldn't have been talking if he knew that Skit was in the closet like that. Like, I don't understand that shit. But that's what happened though. And now Tiffany Haddish got dragged into it. And Tiffany Tiffany Haddish is trying to separate herself from it. Y'all can go check out my video on Selftalknews that I did about that. That Tiffany Haddish is about to sell Aries Spears out. Y'all go check that out on my second channel, Selftalknews. So yeah, man, with that being said, another thing that I agree with Pierre is, like, as parents, don't just trust anybody around your kids. Give a fuck if it's a $1 billion person, a millionaire, anybody that can promise your kids their dreams. Don't just hand your kids away and all that shit and just like not know what the fuck going on. Like, you should know everything that's going on, every scene, just everything. Like, you know what I mean? So I agree with that. I agree with that part of it. And I agree that I feel like the mom didn't have any bad intentions of her kids being traumatized or hurt. You know what I mean? So I don't put the fault on the parent. Not in this situation. And the only reason why I say that is because, I know how these celebrities think, man. They use their influence. It's easy for them to sell, a meal ticket and just say, hey, this scene is gonna be a little crazy. Your son has to take his shirt off. I know it's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable. Even if the mom said no at first, you know how they is. They do it to the biggest celebrities, and the biggest celebrities, like Kwame will say, they will bite the apple. You know what I mean? Like how Dave Chappelle said when they came to his room, changed the scene, and had a dress sitting in there in his trailer, and he was like, what the fuck? So, they came back in like, oh, Dave, yeah, we're ready for you type shit. And he looked at him like, I'm not putting this dress on. And then it was like, oh, really? Come on, Dave. And then he said they left out, came back in, tried to ask him again, left out, came back in, tried to ask again. Like, that's the Hollywood shit. You don't think Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish, they don't know that shit? If the mom would have said no, but they trying to work on this quote unquote art that Pierre is talking about, and they trying to get this skit off, you don't think they know how to come back and tell the mom, well, hey, I know it's tough. I know you said no, but this is this and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll either try to pay her some more money or promise her some, empty bullshit. Like, if you do this, then we can put him in another blah, blah, blah. This is going to help him break through. And I got this person connected. I got that. I got this. So I disagree with Pierre on that. As far as like just trying to blame the mom. Highly weird, man. These motherfuckers, they know who to try to come at and attack. Because like I said, the predators can sniff out the prey. And on that note, I'm going to leave it off with that, man. Salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Share this on Facebook, Twitter, anything that y'all could do. Send out the link. Put it on your community tab if you're a YouTuber, or you know how to put videos on your community tab. Go ahead and do that. Hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. This is Self-Talk for Selftalknews. We out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Salute.
I see why want to play your videos. I see why self-talk. God damn, bro.